Good Friday, everyone, and welcome into today's daily Bible reading for November the 25th. And today we're going to be reading together in Proverbs chapter 8. I hope very much so that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving yesterday, that it was filled with lots of time with family, friends. You maybe even enjoyed a little bit of football on TV, whatever it was that you're able to do. I hope that you really took the time to thank God for the incredible blessings that we enjoy in this life, specifically being people in this country, United States of America, freedoms that are just beyond the imagination of others that are from other places. Specifically, I'm thinking about a young lady that my aunt has been keeping me up to date on, who's from Cuba. She is a doctor in Cuba, and she is friends with some men who go down to Cuba and do some preaching work down there, and they just want to get her out of that bad spot and get her into a better place here in the States. And after many days of a very grueling trip through Central America and up through Mexico, and having to deal with things at the border with the Border Patrol and everything, she finally arrived here in the United States sometime in the past couple of weeks. And she often just found herself just incredibly overwhelmed by what she sees here in the US, with everything that we have, and the ease with which we have it. My aunt said that she just constantly has a smile on her face, and again is just overwhelmed by what we have, because it is nothing like that in Cuba. And that's the same story for a number of different places. So I really hope that today, building off of yesterday, we continue to be thankful, and we're very grateful to God for what we have, and we certainly don't take it for granted, but that we seek to show our appreciation to Him through continued trust, through sacrificing our lives to Him and honoring Him in everything that we do. Again, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Let's go ahead and get into our text for today, which again is Proverbs chapter 8. Proverbs chapter 8. We are looking here in this particular chapter. The subheading says wisdom's appeal. This is wisdom trying to persuade us to listen to her and to follow her instruction and to live according to what she has to offer. So reading here in Proverbs chapter 8, beginning in verse number 1, doesn't wisdom call out? Doesn't understanding make her voice heard? At the heights overlooking the road, at the crossroads she takes her stand. Beside the gates leading into the city, at the main entrance she cries out, "People, I call out to you. Let me cry, or my cry is to the children of Adam. Learn to be shrewd, you who are inexperienced. Develop common sense, you who are foolish. Listen, for I speak of noble things, and my lips say, and what my lips say is right." Verse number 7, for my mouth tells the truth, and wickedness is detestable to my lips. All the words from my mouth are righteous. None of them are deceptive or perverse. All of them are clear to the perceptive, and right to those who discover knowledge. Accept my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than pure gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and nothing desirable can equal it. I, wisdom, share home with shrewdness, and have knowledge and discretion. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate arrogant pride, evil conduct, and perverse speech. I possess good advice and sound wisdom. I have understanding and strength. It is by me that kings reign, and rulers enact just law. By me princes lead, as do the nobles and all righteous judges. I love those who love me, and those who search for me find me. With me are riches and honor, lasting wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than solid gold, and my harvest than pure silver. I walk in the ways of righteousness, along the paths of justice, giving wealth as an inheritance to those who love me, and filling my treasuries. The Lord acquired me at the beginning of his creation, before his works of long ago. I was formed before ancient times, from the beginning, before the earth began. I was born when there was no watery depths and no springs filled with water. Before the mountains were established, prior to the hills, I was given birth. Before he made the lands, the fields, or the first soil on earth, I was there when he established the heavens, when he laid out the horizon on the surface of the ocean, when he placed the skies above when the fountains of the ocean gushed out, when he set a limit for the sea so that the waters would not violate his command, when he laid out the foundations of the earth. I was a skilled craftsman beside him. I was his delight every day, always rejoicing before him. I was rejoicing in his inhabited world, delighting in the children of Adam. And now, sons, listen to me. Those who keep my ways are happy. Listen to instruction and be wise. Don't ignore it. Anyone who listens to me is happy, watching my doors every day, waiting by the post of my doorway. For the one who finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. But the one who misses me harms himself. All who hate me love death. That is Proverbs chapter 8. Going back up to the beginning of the chapter, I want to note here the difference between the way wisdom calls out and the shady nature of the wicked woman. Remember, the wicked woman is crafty. She is shady. She's tricky. She's not just going to stand out and just yell out, "I'm a wicked woman. Come to me and let's join ourselves together and be destroyed." No, that's not how she operates. She's very shady in the way that she deals, kind of sneaking behind the scenes to accomplish her deal. But wisdom doesn't do that. Wisdom just calls out. Wisdom wants to be heard by everyone. She takes her stand. The text says she she does this beside the gates leading into the city. She cries out. Wisdom wants to be heard by all. Why? Because wisdom knows that those who embrace her will be blessed. That's why she says in verse number 10, accept my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than pure gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and nothing desirable can equal it. There's nothing else in this world that equals the wisdom that God offers us. The wisdom that is knowledge, not just knowledge, but in verse number 12, it's also shrewdness, knowledge, discretion. These things help us to make proper decisions. They are necessary. In fact, they think are things that are necessary for us to just understand anything pertaining to God, is to make any good decision. Think about the decision to surrender to Jesus, to obey the gospel. That requires wisdom and knowledge and discretion, because we have to make choices in doing that. And the wisdom certainly would help anybody to make that proper decision, which is why we see so much. Verse 13, to fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate arrogant pride, evil conduct, and perverse speech. Those things are antithetical to wisdom and knowledge and shrewdness. Therefore, we must reject them and embrace what wisdom has to offer. Now, wisdom is not something that is new. Wisdom is not a modern invention. It's not something that has been recently discovered. No, wisdom makes the claim that, listen, I was there from even before the beginning. The Lord acquired me at the beginning of his creation, before his works of long ago. He goes back to say that wisdom was around before the creation. Now, this isn't to say that wisdom is God. No, wisdom itself is not a God, but wisdom belongs to God. Wisdom belongs to God. And wisdom, beginning verse 32, is tried and tested. Wisdom is tried and tested. Again, there's so many people today who are making claims that if you want to be happy, then you need to do this, or that. You need to embrace this radical ideology. You need to embrace this ism or that ism. Well, no, we don't need to do that. All we have to do is embrace the wisdom that has been around since before the beginning of time, since before the creation. Listen to me, sons, this verse 32, and those who keep my ways are happy. Listen to instruction and be wise. Don't ignore it. Anyone who listens to me is happy, watching my doors every day, waiting by the post of my doorway. For the one who finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. Wisdom is tried and tested. It has been proven to be a blessing to those who will embrace it and to those who are willing to live by it. But if we don't do that, if we're the ones that misses wisdom, or there's alternate translation, who sins against wisdom, that is only to that person's harm and eventually leads to that person's death. So are we a people who are wanting to have blessings in this life? Are we wanting to find true happiness? True happiness is not found, again, in anything modern. It's not found in a recent discovery or something that's recently been developed. Again, it's not found in an ism, and I'm saying ism as in ISM, the suffix that comes at the end of different words, different things that are made up today, whatever that ism might be. That's not where happiness is found. No, happiness is found in wisdom that comes from God. Wisdom is a product of God. It is given by God. And if it's given by God, if God wants to give it to us, then he wants to give it to us because it leads to a blessing. And we should very much appreciate that. Again, we're talking about Thanksgiving. We're talking about everything that we have that we should be thankful for. Maybe very much near the top of that list needs to be our great appreciation for the wisdom that God has given us, the fact that he has given us his word, which guides us into all truth, which teaches us, corrects us, rebukes us, trains us in righteousness, helps us be the type of people that he needs us to be, or that he desires for us to be, helps us to accomplish everything that he desires for us to accomplish. The wisdom that we have within this book of books, is a blessing to us. And we need to show that appreciation for such a blessing. And one of the ways we do that certainly is through our regular daily Bible reading. And I hope that this read through Proverbs has been a blessing to you up until this point. We have one more chapter in this first section, which speaks about, which is framed from the perspective of fatherly advice or fatherly wisdom. We'll be looking at chapter 9 tomorrow. And then beginning on Sunday, we'll get into probably what most of us think whenever thinking about Proverbs, the little one sentence wisdom bits. We'll be getting into that on Sunday. But again, I appreciate so much you tuning into this reading. I hope it's been a blessing to you. I hope it will give you something to think about as you go throughout the rest of this day. And we'll be back at it again tomorrow as we read together from Proverbs chapter 9. Take care. God bless.